government is assuring Barbicians that there will be no increase in the Berbice Bridge tolls. Info Hub for Tuesday, October 16 begins now. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson today said the government will do all that is necessary to ensure commuters continue to traverse the bridge without the undue harassment of burdensome tolls. Seneca Thorne has our first report.
I will not be approving any toll increases for the Berbice River Bridge crossing, and that is our position on that. We will be seeking legal advice from the Attorney General's chamber on the legal implications of what is the power and the authorities under this act. Thirdly, I would like to give all assurances to all commuters in Berbice and Region 5 and Region 6 that the government will do all that is necessary to ensure that commuters can continue to use the bridge safely and without any particular undue harassment or tolls.
Minister Patterson addressing the bridge toll increases announced by the Berbice Bridge Company Incorporated today. He said among the options that the government will be seeking to explore is the amendment of the Berbice Bridge Act, increases in subsidies, or an injunction.
We have several options. We would have options. I mean, if he recommends an amendment, we could do that. If finance recommends a financial route, we can go there. Or if the Minister of Public Security says it's a vital and important service and says declare an order to keep it open, I mean, we'll do that. I mean, so the entire gamut of possibilities are open. I don't know which one we will do this time, but I do know the outcome will be that there will be no fare increases.
The minister noted the date in which the proposed increases will be implemented, November 12th, is also slated for local government elections.
No coincidence, that is the date of the local government elections. We do note by that mere move alone that there is political implications and political reasoning.
The proposed toll increases from $2,200 to $8,040 for cars and buses, small trucks $4,000 to $14,600, and boats from $110,000 to $401,000, according to Minister Patterson, ranks among the highest bridge tolls internationally. The Berbice River Bridge Act was passed in the 8th Parliament in January 2006. The Berbice Bridge Company said it has some $6 billion in debts to its investors, including the National Insurance Scheme and the New Building Society, that invested some $9 billion into the project. When the government took office in 2015, it implemented river taxis for school children, pensioners, nurses, and teachers, and provided $155 million per annum subsidy starting January 2006. The ministry has also set aside in its 2019 national budget $238 million to subsidize the operations of the bridge. Seneca Thorne, Info Hub.
Meanwhile, a team was dispatched to Berbice and spoke with several commuters who expressed dissatisfaction with the proposed increases by the Berbice Bridge Company Incorporated. More from Renetta LaFleur.
The proposed increase announced by the Berbice Bridge Company this morning represents a more than 400% increase across the board. President of the Minibus Association in Berbice, Dennis Chesney, criticized the increase.
What about the poor people? How they will suffer? Is the bridge and the opposition thinking anything about the people? Or they're just looking after themselves, right? Well, for me, right, I feel that the government should take over the bridge, right? And so that everybody could live, because we got to live. How would we live? I'm an old man, but I got younger people, dependent, and they take loan to pay the bank. Where would they make this money from, right? They got drivers who take money from the bank. Where would they find the money to pay when they got to pay $8,000? What do the people, the consumer that is crossing the bridge, what will they pay to cross the bridge?
Other minibus operators and passengers are frustrated with the proposed hike.
If this is going to happen, if the bridge going to raise the fear upon us, with me you can't work anymore. And we get a vehicle, we work and pay for the vehicle. We take a loan, and then if we can't work, then the bank gonna take we vehicle. We're gonna be the big loser. We get kids going to school, we get family, we get bills to pay, and we can't make it.
For my personal, for me gotta go for the bridge. I can't find $8,000 because if me look at go for me was to pay $8,000, I can't pay that. I can't afford it. Can't afford it because it is too much. Yeah. Well, that would send the passenger crazy. Where do we go find the money? Where do we earn it?
That's unreasonable. Because when it's done, they have to study all those who have kids and not one going across the school. It's more than one. And then if they jump from 19 to 8, that's a big jump. And the fee right now, I think it's 300. It's going to raise to 1,000. Nobody will want to go leave across it to go across there anymore. They will just spend their money and over. They will just keep losing. They will lose customers. They don't make any sense. So I think they should leave it as it is or drop itself.
The new proposed fares include an increase from $2,200 to $8,040 for cars and buses, $4,000 to $14,600 for small trucks, and $110,000 to $401,040 for sea and river-going boats. The government has since stated that it will not permit any toll increases. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
The Ministry of Public Security says the situation at the Lusignan prison remains under control as the joint services continue to secure the facility. This comes on the heels of riotous behavior by prisoners in the holding bay at the prison on the evening of Monday, October 15. The ministry said inmates attacked ranks with missiles, damaged the inner holding bay fences, and exited the confined area. They attempted to gain access to the main exit gate but were unsuccessful. Several attempts were made by officers and ranks to enter the location with the use of shields, but the large number and size of the missiles caused them to retreat to a point of safety. Under the cover of darkness, prisoners damaged 4 perimeter lights. They also set fire to items including mattresses and pallets along the inside of the fence. This caused damage to the monitoring room with the CCTV cameras. To quell the riotous behavior, ranks reverted to the use of rubber pellets, then live rounds after repeated verbal warnings. 8 prisoners were hit by pellets, 6 were escorted to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where they received medical attention and later sent to the Georgetown prison, while 2 were treated on location. The prisoners requested an audience with the Director of Prisons, Gladwin Samuels, which was facilitated. Concerns were noted and actions will be taken where necessary. The government will be moving ahead with the new Demerara River crossing this year, says Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson. Renetta LaFleur has more to tell us.
Work on the new crossing, pivotal for linking Regions 3, 4, and further afield, will begin next year. Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson highlighted that the procurement process sought was the most expeditious one to quickly secure the consultancy design for the new bridge crossing.
Whatever recommendations, because the Public Procurement Commission made some recommendations which we took on board. They never questioned the validity, the information which we got. I mean, so was never a question of the technical soundness of the reports, nor were there a question of the competency of the consultancies. So we have the base information.
12 submissions for the new crossing were received. Prior to the procurement process, it was envisaged that the new 4-lane bridge would cost about $250 million. However, through the first process, the costs bidded by 3 contractors were around $200 million. Minister Patterson said this encouraged the ministry to extend the procurement process.
So when we looked at it, so obviously when we looked at it as a team, is that we could afford more with the money we have there. That's why we said, but the firm bid below $200 million was only done, I think, by two or three of the contractors. So we've said, why not ask all 12 and anybody else, which we will do, how much you will charge us, knowing that that is the $200 million the previous bid would have been like our engineering estimate. So we're actually going out through a public-private partnership sometime this month for figures for updates on those costs, and we'll enter into, and that's done through the Public Private Partners Unit under the Ministry of Finance.
The Public Infrastructure Minister assured there will be no extreme hike in tolls once completed. Renetta LaFleur for InfoHub.
The inaugural Green Guyana Expo is almost here at the National Stadium Tarmac, October 18 to 20. Come and experience green living, green technologies, green agriculture, and so much more. Gates will be open 2 p.m. daily, and admission and secured parking is absolutely free. Enjoy live entertainment throughout the event with food and drinks and exciting games for the kids. Come out, learn green, go green. Let's experience our future together.
Welcome back. Canadian High Commissioner Lilian Chatterjee on Monday evening facilitated a networking reception for the local private sector and the private sector of Newfoundland and Labrador. Details from Tiffany Rojas.
Addressing the Canadian private sector group, Business Minister Dominic Gaskin assured Guyana is open for business, but cautioned bad practices will not be tolerated.
We don't want foreign companies to come to Guyana believing that this is a free-for-all and that our entire country can be bought. We want you to come to Guyana with a very clear understanding that this is a good place to do business, a clean place to do business, a profitable place to do business, and a secure place to do business.
The reception, hosted by Canadian High Commissioner Lilian Chatterjee, was a networking opportunity for the local and foreign private sector members. Natural Resources Minister of Newfoundland and Labrador, Simon Cody, encouraged locals to develop their new oil and gas sector to benefit the Guyanese people. On Monday, Minister Cody signed a technical cooperation memorandum of understanding with Guyana in areas of oil and gas development.
And we have brought some of our great Newfoundland and Labrador companies here today to meet with the Guyanese, to meet with great Guyana companies, to share in the knowledge transfer that we have been able to gain over the last 20 years.
A 50-member delegation from Newfoundland and Labrador is here in Guyana on a 4-day trade mission. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rojas.
The border town of Letham is illuminated this week as its second annual Tongue Week celebrations get underway under the theme Celebrating Transformation, Diversity and Uniqueness in 2018. Let's take a look. The week of activities started with an interfaith service on Sunday. Later that evening, the official opening ceremony featured an entourage parade and performances by the Guyana Police Force and the military band. In his feature address, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams described Letham as an emerging frontier for economic development.
Letham is being prepped by our government for modernization and transformation. We, within the government, have a vision for this town. We see Letham not as a rustic community, not as a border town, but as an emerging frontier of economic development, particularly in the areas of agriculture, ecotourism, trade, and communication.
A.G. Williams SC noted that Letham is the capital of the largest region in Guyana and home to a unique range of biodiversity. This, he noted, reinforces the plan to make it a pillar for sustainable economic development, nature and adventure-based tourism in the region. Guyana's ambassador to Brazil, George Talbot, noted that ties between the two nations are strong and developing on many fronts. He cited the Linden-Letham Road as an example.
I am very hopeful and confident that the road is no longer just a matter of dreams and wishes, but a soon coming reality. And I believe that that will have a transformative effect, in keeping with your theme, on the prospects of this community, on the prospects of the Rupununi, and on the prospects of our two countries, Guyana and Brazil.
The annual Letham Town Week showcases the unique offerings of the community and the overall diversity of the Rupununi. It is recommended that you have regular medical checkups to ensure you are cancer-free or to detect the disease in its early stages. That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, social media, and our website at dpi.gov.gy. We leave you now with your bridge and weather reports. Goodbye.